And here also you have chose the BA English. How many of you thinking English எடுத்தா English பேசலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு BA English எடுத்தா English சொல்லி தருவாங்க. So do you know that literature before you took this? BA English எடுக்கும்போதே தெரியுமா அதில் literature இருக்கும், novel இருக்கும், short story இருக்கும், drama. No. So everyone, even me, I chose BA English as an English student. I know the teacher is going to teach me English. But when I got into literature, I started thinking over social history of England, history of English literature. Everyone started making you scared look at this, yes? History of English literature, particular social history of England, focus pannunga, literary forms, fictions, So what I'm trying to tell you, when we want to improve our speaking, we should think in English. For example, if I want to say something in Tamil, my mother tongue is Tamil, right? It's very easy for me to convey this. Whereas, second language, English is the second language for all of us, right? So for me, I want to tell you something in English. I should know how the native speakers tell that same language. I can tell you, trying your mind to think in English. Even you are having a listening class, speaking class, reading, of course writing, it never helps you to speak English, to understand English. For example, I can tell you, for me, how I learn English. I asked my English professor. Every day I used to go department. I asked the same questions. Ma'am, can you tell me how to speak English without mistakes? Ma'am says the same answers will be given everyone. Read newspaper. I started thinking, I don't know English, how can I read English? I know how to read, but I don't know the meaning, right? So how can I understand what the text will be given in the newspaper? So then the second day also I went and asked, ma'am, even I started reading newspaper, I couldn't speak English, I don't understand. Each and every word, I have to check it in the dictionary. So it's feel I feel really bored and of course tired with it. And ma'am says, watch English movies. I started watching, I don't know what the content is going on with. Without 5 minutes, I couldn't watch. I immediately turned around. So I went to the next day and asked the same question to my mentor. Ma'am, even I started reading newspaper, watching movies, I couldn't speak. Ma'am says, you have to practice with. Some of the professors tell me, learn grammar, will help you to talk. 6 months I have gone to the grammar class. Even though I studied grammar thoroughly, I couldn't speak English. So again I went and meet the madam. Madam, I have done whatever you say, like newspaper reading, watching movies, reading books, everything I have done, but still I couldn't speak English as much you can. And ma'am says, practice makes you perfect. Whether it is right or wrong, we have to talk. Am I right or not? So how did you learn your cycling? I hope all of you know cycling, right? So how did you learn cycling? By learning through any board or other things, right? How did you learn swimming or how did you learn cooking? Everything after you are practicing with. Yes? Can I get yes? So this is what the same methodology I found. I have done MPhil so far. I am doing PhD. My PhD title is thinking. When I chose this topic, the university professors will ask me, why do you want to do thinking? I tell you that my past 10-year experience, I met all the different kind of students, like rural, remote villages, even the city people. They couldn't speak, they are struggling with. When you want to get placed in IT company, what is the first one you have to do? You should know English, communication English. That I have only institutions, I met all of the students they have come across, only their problem is English. Even they are mastered in so many areas, but the language is a problematic one. For you, I am telling you a very simple methodology. For me, I have tried everything, but finally I started talking. Whether it is right or wrong, I didn't bother about. If I made mistake, no one can come and cut my head. Is anybody come and cut my head if I made a mistake in English? Obviously not. The same way I tell you, English literature students, usually literature students can enjoy their life because you study the literature and you know what. If you study Othello, you should know, you should not be skeptical. If you study Macbeth, The Macbeth, the drama says you should not have a greedy will. So if you study comparative literature, for example, I can tell you as an English teacher, comparative literature, Tirukural, I can translate into English to reach the world because it's a secular one. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by secular? Secular in the sense, the Tirukural, it never talks about any religious aspect. It's a common one, right? So Tirukural is a secular one to reach the world. Can I translate Silappatikaram into English? Is it possible? It is impossible because it's a Tamil culture, right? The girl who is Kannagi, the protagonist of the story. If I translate into English, can I get the same reaction from Tamil people how they react when Kannagi was argued with the king? When as a Tamil students or Tamil literature people or Tamil people, when we start reading Silappatikaram, we get the pleasures of things. But English people can start thinking, what do you mean by the story is all about? Yes? So when you compare the literature one book to another, you should have a lot of problematic things out there. You should know culture. What culture is? Tamil culture is entirely different than English culture. When you think about Canadian literature, it's totally different. So when you think about literature, you can have a lot of isms, skepticism, postmodernism, post-colonialism, magical realism. So lot of things, feminism, surrealism, ego-criticism. So you have a lot of opportunity to do on. So what I'm trying to tell you, literature students can enjoy the life because you know what to do, what not to do. Am I right or not? Of course, you are thoroughly enjoyed with the stories, fictions, novels, everything. I'm proudly telling I'm a literature student.